This last weekend was an interesting one. Going out to Denver, we played two incredibly close games. Kind of seems to be what we do, get ourselves in situations of playing incredibly close games. And it was a battle, truly. It was a battle. It was an incredibly physical game. A lot of maybe extra added to the game with a little after the whistle stuff. And it became, I would say, a little bit of a rivalry, I think, moving forward. There's going to be a little extra when we play Denver. But I don't think we walk out of there saying we played fantastic basketball. I mean, that's the reality. We were able to come away with a win, and of course we will happily take wins, but I would definitely call it an ugly win. It was not exactly pretty basketball from our perspective, and so there was a lot to be learned from that. And again, I think we saw Friday a lot of things that we needed to clean up, and we executed a little bit better on Saturday night, and still had a lot of things we needed to do better. I mean, you look at our finishing around the rim, just was not where it needed to be. Our communication defensively, those kinds of things are things that we've been trying to talk about consistently, and they've been things you've been hearing us talk about, it seems like, every single week when we come in here, that we just need to continue to emphasize. We've got to get better in some of those areas, and we know we play an incredibly tough team in South Dakota this weekend. They're a team that's done incredibly well in our league. They've competed with some of the best in the nation this year, and they're well coached with, three of the top scorers in our league. So we no doubt have a tough challenge ahead of us, and we have a lot of things that we need to continue to improve and work on ourselves over the course of this week.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask you a little bit about Jacqueline Jarnet there. If you look at it like an 8-game stretch here, there were 4 where she didn't score, and now 4 where she's in double digits or darn near. So, what's the difference in the two stretches there?
I think Jacqueline took it upon herself a little bit to say she wasn't happy with how she was doing things. I think that right after Brookings, we come back from there. And she didn't see the court a whole lot in Brookings. And, she's a kid that had started for us until Oral Roberts series. And, she knew she needed to pick up her game. And we sat down, we watched some film, her and I. We looked at some of the numbers and just what she'd been doing, what her production had been. And I think she understood why things had changed a little bit for her over the course between that Oral Roberts and Brookings stretch. And again, just sitting down, doing a little bit of extra, and then taking it to the court, working on those things that we talked about, we saw in film. And she definitely took it to heart. And you saw a breakout performance against Western Illinois for her again, kind of coming back to what we think Jacqueline's capable of. And thank goodness for Jacqueline Jarnet, because she was the only one keeping us alive there for a minute in the first quarter out in Denver. So, she took it to heart, and instead of just getting down and hurt about things, I think responded in an appropriate way and has helped their team tremendously since then.
Coach, regards to South Dakota, just a little bit more on them. You talked about it. Everybody knows that they've built something down there here in recent years, but it's an opportunity in your building here at this time of year with meaningful games. So you just go out there and put your best foot forward, right? I mean, what a great opportunity to meet a team like this at this time of year with a lot on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're fighting for a spot in the conference tournament, and our team's, not oblivious to that fact. I think we know that. And so we have a lot that we really are playing for. I mean, truly, we're playing for the rest of our season. We know, again, we face an incredibly tough South Dakota team, and we're going to have to play really good basketball to put ourselves in a situation to win this weekend. But again, just continuing to watch the film, work on those things that we continue to emphasize and see, and hopefully we can string together a good 40 minutes.
In regards to your seniors, your veteran players here, just describe, you've said basically the veterans have been very key to this year despite the challenges. They've had the right attitude. Maybe it's even more meaningful to see them being honored this weekend, basically, because of the way they put together a good, they've shown the way, so to speak, basically, and led in those aspects, basically, that are important to you and your staff.
Yeah, they have. Mick and Julia are 2 seniors that we're going to honor on Sunday. And yes, they've been incredible leaders and examples for our program and our underclassmen. It's been a wild year. I don't think that there's anyone that would disagree with that. And COVID and all that stuff, and then just the way our season for our team itself has played out. And they've kept the team, I think, kind of headed in the right direction, or kept their heads, screwed on right to make sure that, yes, one thing may have not gone our way, but let's focus in on what our next opportunity may be. And they're both just incredible examples of that, in the classroom or on the court. I mean, they both have incredibly difficult majors, yet they still find time to dedicate themselves with everything they have to the basketball program as well, and being good teammates and everything you could possibly ask of leaders. And so incredibly thankful for those two. I mean, can't say it enough just how wonderful it is to have players like them as your leaders, especially in a year like this, that you need leadership more than anything.